Alright, what is up boys and girls? Welcome back to another video on liquidity, supply and demand. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another video. Please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel, really helps us out with this amazing V-shaped recovery strategy that I've been perfecting over the past 6 or 7 months. Got around an 80% win rate on gold and on NQ, which has been absolutely insane. Pretty much changed my life, to be honest, and a really easy strategy to trade in my opinion. Very simple outline of what it is and also how you can trade it in this video, so make sure you stick around to the end. I'll be showing some examples as well recently of trades that I've taken, and if you do want to get alerts and signals for this, you can sign up in the description below, where I'll be posting daily signals and daily outlooks on potential trades that I'll be looking for my specific version of this strategy. There have been 3 or 4 different people that I've seen trading this recently. One of them most notably called Dodgy, who calls it the V-shaped recovery strategy. I basically just call it the V-shaped reversal is probably the thing that I would call it, where basically you come down, you sweep liquidity, you bounce back to the upside like this. You can already see a few examples of it on the chart here, so I did just want to go over some of the recent ones that I've taken. But I'll just quickly outline the strategy so you can get an idea of how I'm trading it. Very simply, and I'm going to keep it really simple and quick in this video. You've got your market structure like this. You're going up, you're going down. Obviously, you're forming these good liquidity points where you can sweep. I tend to just take the long sweeps, to be honest. I don't really take the short sweeps in NASDAQ. Because we're at all-time highs now as well, shorting at all-time highs always seems like a bad idea, just because it feels like you're going against the bias of everyone just continuously pumping the market. But the one that I like to take is this, basically the sweep of this sell-side liquidity at the low. You come down, you get the V-shape back up. So say you're doing something like this, you come down and then you sweep the low, and then you're looking for that nice V-shape back to the upside. Obviously, your entry trigger would be this inverted fair value gap, which tends to be the entry model that most people use for this strategy that I've seen. 3 or 4 different people that I've seen trading this strategy have all said the same thing, and I've been trading this myself like this now, as I said, for the past 6 months or so, and I've been having some really incredible success with it. I've tried so many trading strategies, to be honest, like EMAs, all kinds of stuff, volume profiles, VWAPs, VWAPs, are they VWAPs? VWAPs? Basically everything that you can imagine in terms of indicators, RSI, crossovers, all kinds of things. And this is one of the things that's just it really made me feel like I actually understand what's going on with the market, because essentially what the market is it's a stop loss hunting machine. That's basically what the market is. And all the stop losses down here are going to get hunted, and all the ones up here, basically what the market wants to do is it wants to go and kill your stop losses and then reverse back in the opposite direction, or the direction that you wanted to go in. This happens so much, you would not believe it. Like, why do you think your stop loss gets hit so much with such frequency, and then instantly your trade will go in your direction? It's because the market is quite literally hunting your stop loss, because it knows where your stop loss is, and then it will instantly go in your favor. So what will happen is let's say you have your long position, it's like here somewhere, and you're going, oh, my position's really good, it's in profit. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, the market's coming back down here. But it'll bounce at this support, and then it comes down, hits your stop loss, and then goes like this. And then you're stopped out of your position and you miss the move because of that. How many times has this happened to you? This must have happened to me thousands of times over the past 5 years of trying to learn to trade properly. And it's unbelievably frustrating how long it took me to figure out that this is what's happening. The market is literally hunting my stop loss specifically. It is out to get me. You know, when people say the market's not out to get you, it definitely is. They're looking for your stop loss. They go and they take your stop loss, and then they'll continue the move in your direction. And then what will happen is you'll FOMO in going, oh, I just got stopped out, and you'll revenge trade. And you'll take a short thinking that the market's going to break to the downside. And sometimes this will work if there's good momentum. But most of the time what will happen is the market will just reverse back around and hit your stop loss again, and you'll get really frustrated, probably pull all of your hair out. So basically this is the strategy that's been really helping me to figure out how to actually trade the markets. And it's been unbelievable, the insight that I've got into the markets because of this. Very simple. Liquidity sweep. You're looking for that nice V-shape back up in the space of 3 or 4 candles. You enter on this fair value gap being inverted back to the upside, showing good momentum. Generally speaking, when you get these nice sweeps to the downside and you get a good sweep, they'll leave a lot of fair value gaps here because it'll be good momentum, so there won't be much chance for the market to balance all of these orders. And then you'll come back up and you'll want to be ripping back through these with good momentum. If you get good candle closes, you'll be looking at getting a really nice trade. I enter on the break of the inverted fair value gap, manual stop loss if we close back below this inverted fair value gap here. And then I'll target a 1-for-1, go break even once I hit that. And then I'll be leaving runners to usually halfway up the move of the V shape, and then I'll just leave one runner for the high of day. Because we're at all-time highs, you'd be amazed how many times we run back to the high of day when you come down and get a good sweep. And this is the trading strategy. Very, very simple stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to go and just look at a few of the trades that we took recently. Had a really crazy move to the downside overnight, by the way. This was a really, really big move. Look at this. We didn't actually get, this could have potentially had an insane V-shape back up, but you can see too much consolidation down here. Obviously, I was asleep as well because this was overnight for me. We did get this decent trade yesterday. Let's take a look at where we're at. Where are we at here? On the 5 minute, I think it was this. We're looking at this 5 minute here. A bit of a weird one because we did come down, sweep loads of liquidity. You can see we've clearly got a level of liquidity here that gets swept. We sweep all the way. Where's my magnet? We sweep all the way down to this level here, and you're starting to get this nice 5 minute back to the upside. We did get the entry, as you can see. Let me just zoom in on this. So you've got everything that you want, that big V shape down, V shaping back up on the 5 minute really nicely here. We do get the entry trigger, which is there. And you can see we came up, hit the 1 for 1 pretty much straight away. And then I came up, what were my targets on this? Let me just take a look at what my targets would have been. So you can see we've got the entry trigger here. We went sideways for a little bit. We came up, obviously because I hit a 1 for 1, I went break even. I think my targets were way up here because this was looking really good for a V shape back to the all-time high. But obviously, as you can see, not enough momentum on this particular day. So I took a 1 for 1 and then got break even on the rest of the position here, which is totally fine by me. This can happen, obviously. The break even and the small profit does protect you from all those little losses that usually destroy your accounts, which is what used to happen to me so much. This was the only trade that I took yesterday because the PM session was very choppy. As you can see, not any trades here really at all. Potentially, I think there was one potential trade in here, but it wasn't a very good setup. To be honest, I didn't take it. The day before, we obviously had that absolutely ridiculous banger that was in the previous videos. Let me just put a box around this so I can see it when we go back on the 1 minute time frame quickly. There we go. So this trade was an absolute beast, to be fair. You can see, if you look on the 5 minute here, this was a really good example. You've got all of this liquidity above. Got all of these levels of liquidity. Look at all these levels of liquidity that could get ran, and obviously the all-time high is a massive draw as well. You can see we've been chopping around for a while, going sideways in this range. Very, very choppy price action. All of this liquidity being formed here. You can see we're just starting to break out of it in this area here. And then as we come into open, let me just go back to my box again. As we come into open, you can see we're kind of chopping sideways, but we have got this decent 1 hour candle that we're coming in on here. And basically what happened was we formed this nice little range, as you can see, going into open. We've got this nice liquidity sweep below. Very, very nice here. And then we've got a lovely, I think it was a 2 minute fair value gap. But there's also a 1 minute here. But basically the 2 minute was looking like this, I believe. You get the trigger. The entries here, as you can see. Stop loss manual close back below. You can see we came up, we hit the 1 for 1, which was the high as well. This all happened before open. I took half my position off here, as I always do, and then I left both the runners just to see how far we would go, because I could see this was coiling up for a huge rip through all that liquidity. And I basically just held both the second half of my position, I think pretty much halfway up here. I got to around here, took half off, and then I left the runner for the all-time high, which got hit as well. So absolutely unbelievably insane trade. One of the best trades I've ever taken, if I'm being honest, in terms of how quickly this all played out, and also how well all of the ideas behind the trade worked out as well. Liquidity sweep below, and then all that liquidity above getting ran by the entry, by the market open. All of this liquidity getting absolutely ran, which was incredible to see. And I think I took half off here, about halfway up, which was like a 1 to 7, 1 to 8 R. So I would have took half at 1 for 1, so that's 0.5 R. And then I would have took half again, which is a quarter at 8 R, which is 2 R. So that's 2.5 R. And then the final quarter of the position at all-time highs, which was like 15 R or something crazy. So basically this was like 6 or 7 R trade overall. Absolute banger of a trade. Incredible potential, obviously, of the strategy. And these kinds of V shapes happen all the time in the market. You can see if you just look on the 1 minute here, there's a potential V shape here. You could have taken something like this. Entered here, waited for the swing high to be hit. This would have been a banger. Another V-shape here with the fair value gap. You come down, you sweep liquidity, get the entry above. You come up, you hit your 1 for 1, which would have been here. This would have been a winner. You can see so many times this happens in the market. Look at this one here. This is a good one. This one was a bit of a weird one because it took a while to V-shape, but as you can see, we came down, eventually got the liquidity sweep. Really, really nice 1 minute fair value gap here. That got inverted, as you can see. The entry triggered here. The 1 for 1 gets hit. We get the runner gets hit as well, and then the final runner stopped at break even because of Trump. Loads and loads and loads. I mean, you can just look through this chart and you can see the sheer amount of trades here. Lovely liquidity sweep here. This one was interesting because we actually got this really nice manipulation leg as well. Let's take a look at this. You can see very clean, lovely liquidity sweep. We come down here. We obviously got a decent 1 minute fair value gap here, as you can see. I can actually get my magnet to play ball. Decent 1 minute fair value gap here, although you could have potentially waited for this one. But either way, this would have been a break-even trade. You can see we've got probably a 1 for 1 and break-even on this one. If you're very strict and adherent to the rules. Close back below, 1 for 1. This would have got hit for a 1 for 1, wouldn't it? And then the rest would have been a break-even. But then look at this second trade. You've also got your sweep, and then the manipulation leg, and then the reversal, which is even better. So you can see we've got this big 1 minute fair value gap here. You could have taken this one down here or just waited for the whole one. Either way, another winner. The stop loss would have been pretty big on this one. What is this, like 30 points? But you can see still would have won, and then you would have held another runner up to this high here. And then you could have, well, you would have got a stop break even on the last bit there. But you can see all the time, crazy potential. This is just on NQ, by the way. This also works on gold, although not quite as well. You have to be a bit more careful with gold, but NQ is a beast for this. I'll keep the video, I'll stop waffling now and end the video because I could go on forever about how good this is. But if you enjoyed it, please do drop a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you've got any questions. Really helps out the channel. And if you do want to get signals or alerts for this strategy, my specific version of this V-shape recovery or reversal style strategy, you can sign up in the Discord down below. Really good stuff. I'll catch you in there. Cheers.